Hi guys, my name is Nikunj Kanani. In our last lecture we see how can we configure malloc services in our cloud docker environment setup. Today I will show you how can we configure selenium services in our cloud docker environment. So here in documentation guys I have added some step is a selenium services configuration. So here I have written some 9 steps we need to follow for the configure selenium services. So let's we can check, we can execute this step one by one and we can see demo. The first step is we need to generate docker.compose YML file with selenium and with test containers. So here I am running this uh, command in my system. In my system is Magento already set up in is already working here. So for temporary purpose I'm stopping the my container. Yeah, my whole container are stopped successfully. Now we can follow this step one by one. Is first step is we need to generate docker composite YML file with selenium and with test container. So I am running this command. Sorry, it's a sudo. I need to add sudo in my command. Yeah, configure file was built it. So we check what things is changes in our file structure. So here two files we here some things is modified. We check one by one. First file is a docker dot configure environment file. Here is one thing is added is a mtf unit configure variable, and one line is remove because that is we added here as manually. So I'm adding this line again. So we check again what is a different. So one difference found is a one is a mtf variables is added here. Now check in another file is docker compose YML that we need to build with selenium and test containers. So here we check the different using git command. So here is we see different is one thing is image container elastic image container image path is reverted that we correct in our first video lecture. Here we see selenium and test container are added. Let's see more here. Also malloc containers image path is reverted. So here we need to correct first of all malloc services and elasticsearch image path. So I'm correcting this file container path. So elasticsearch, yeah, it's elasticsearch path I'm copying. So I'm getting this path here and adding here. Another is malloc, right? So here I need to add malloc, right guys? Okay, so now I am changes this. Next is one more thing is we need to add in selenium container is I need to map port 7900 to see what is happening inside the container, right guys? So I'm say sorry for this. I'm not a better person for explaining about this port mapping part, but when you start learning for the docker, you will be get idea what things is I done here. So here is a 7900 is a selenium port that I get access outside of same for using same number of port, right? So for this for you using this port we can access the what things we can see what things is happening in the containers, right? I will show you later when we run the command. So let's move on next step. Next step we need to create start container. So I am running this command in my current system. We stop the all container first of all, right? So now I'm running up command because we need to create container is a selenium container and test container because it's not added before, right? So we added this now, so we need to create so up command is create it's a do to it's a uh, either is if your container is exist, so it's a start. If your container is not exist, it's create. So I'm running this command bin slash magento docker up command. So it's starting the containers and recreate some other container is a generic, and because we add more containers, selenium container and test container, right? So as per the is a magento full functional test framework according, they recreate another container also that they required, right? So we need to wait some time here for the still start the all the containers, and then we will check my magento setup is working well or not. Yeah guys, my all container started. Let's just check my magento is working or not. So guys, my magento is working well. Okay, so now let's we move on next step. Next step is we need to add Magento 2 function testing framework module using composer, but it's optional because it's already exist in our composer.json file. Let's I will show you here. So here we can check in required dev. So here we can see here Magento 2 function testing framework is available, right? So we don't require to run this command. Next is we need to prepare the Magento application by adding environment variable that are specific to Magento function testing framework. So we need to create config variable for using the content of we need to provide a Magento base URL. We need to provide Magento backend name. We need to provide Magento admin username password, and we need to provide some whitelist test module, right? So I'm creating this variable here in my system. So I'm running this command in my system is already created, but I'm running because of I need to show you, right, how to run this how to we can create a variable, right? So is a we need to here written is a variable name, and in double quote equal sign double quote we need to add the content, right? So here I mean press enter and create this variable. Now I move this variable content to one file for the using in our function test framework. So here is I'm running this command. So this command is run in deploy containers, right? So I am specify here docker composer and deploy as a deploy container is base command is is what thing is about it is print the echo config and save in the app dev test acceptance.env files, right? So I'm running this command and I'm saving this my config variable content saving in the .environment variable. So let's is completely run successfully. Now I'm show you this file. So I'm giving the my local path. So when you complete this command, so it's my file is created that's a that. So it's all my variables that I specify in .config file, .config variable, that all variable are saved in the .env files, right? Now let's move on next step. So next step is we need to enable disable some settings that config with in Magento for using the Magento function test framework functionality, right? So first of all we need to enable the admin account sharing. So means you know guys, admin account sharing means we can access same admin username password multiple different browser at same time, right? So I'm first of all I'm enabling this service configuration. So now this is run successfully. Now next step is we need to disable user form key, admin user form key. So I'm running this command. And third is we need to disable web secure using admin. Means we need to disable http access in our admin account, right? So I'm running this command. So I run this all commands. Let's move on next one more command, and then we check my Magento is working well or not. Next is I need to clear cache clean. Okay guys, now I'm checking my Magento is working well or not. So I'm refresh the my hard refresh my Magento.docker web URL. Yeah, my Magento is working well. We can check one more URL, right? So I done these things. Next things, we need to build project and we need to generate test cases. So for the build project, I'm running this command docker compose run test. It's run on test containers, right? So I specify on run on test. So it's generating project. It's generated successfully. Now let's next command is we need to generate test cases, right? So I'm running this command to generate test cases. Here is a debug is a two mode available. Is one is default and one is developer. Currently I'm using default mode. It's take some time to generate caches, right? I will show you where exact location where the file is generated and is created and saved, right? And whenever we need to test some caches, right? So how can we get this caches name, right? So I will show you after some times. Yeah, it's a test cases is creating. It gives some violation error that detect it notice, or so we don't worry about this. Yeah, generate test case command run. So let's we check what things in happening, any file is modified or created. So I'm running git status command. So let's here we see my some folder file is generated. So let's we go for this file location. So here I'm going is a dev dash, third is acceptance, and then test functional is a test and is a functional, and is Magento, and is generated, and we use default, right? Okay, debug mode. So here are all our test cases is here, right? That's generated. So whatever we test cases we need to execute, we need to take name of this file name, or we need to remove just sent or .php. We need to run admin attribute set selection test, right? Not we need to add a cache.php, right? So here I have added some command on our next step to run the generated test case. Before this, we just check my Magento is working, or my Magento is working or not, right? So I do hard refresh. Yeah, my Magento is working well. Right now, check. Let's we check what things is hap. Let's we run our test cases. So first, my test cases is admin login successful test that already Magento is given default, right? So I'm running these test cases. So guys, it's a take hardly 3 4 minutes about to run these test cases. So before in starting our videos, right? I'm adding some port 7900 if you remember in selenium docker compose.yml file, uh, if you remember this thing. So why I added this, because what things is happening in my content I need to show, right? So how can we see? So here I added some added one more step is last is optional. If you want to see what things is happening, right? So I need to access this using this url. So here is a password protected. So I'm connecting his password is I also provide here password is secret, right? So my password is here saved. So I'm send credential, and now I want to wait here. So what things is happening, right, in my container is here I will is here visible here, right? So first of all, still my command is not started, right? So we need to wait here, and let's we monitor when once my command is started for the run for testing, right? Okay, then that what things is happening here, we can see what things is happening in our container, we can see here. So let's my command is started. First is admin login successful test is started, and first thing is getting the navigation access is admin of admin, right? So it started the Chrome browser, right? If I am show you here is a Chrome browser is started and taking the access, and is putting the admin email, username and password. And here we also can read here, fill username, fill password, click on login button, means click on sign in button. And now it's wait, now here page is refreshing, means our system, our test case is waiting for the next page, right? So here we can get also instruction. Let's we see here, wait for page load 30 seconds, right? Now condition, click on model pop-up action header. And now next is close the admin notification, wait for admin account text message, right? So that whatever that all that things is written in test cases, right? The all things is happen, and last is done log out. So my all things is pass. So my test case is one test is passes completely successfully, and then is after the complete successfully, my selenium browser is closed, right? Now we can check one more command that I added here. Next command, let we can take this command. What this command is storefront create customer account, right? So I am running this command and see how can it's work, and what things is happening in our container. So we can we monitor here. It's now it's not taking much more time, because once is execute first command is taking too much time, and now it's take little bit less time from the first command. So we need to wait here. Still our command is not started. Yeah, this command is started. Now you can see here my Selenium browser is open and is get access is customer account create page. Now next, wait for page is loaded, and then fill the first name, last name, email address, password, and fill password, right? And wait for page load, and just click on the save buttons, and then create click on create account button, and then wait here for the next pages is for the success page. Yeah, now is a click account button, wait for page loaded, and it's waited yeah, its command is successful. Let's we read what step is written. Is a click on create account button, they click, and then after the wait for 30 second around, and then we also wait for the 30 second for the save, and then it's verify the message, thank you for registering for the main website, and then my past test cases is passed successfully. Then my normally my Selenium browser is closed, and now my test cases is completed. So it's a this way we can see, we can test our test cases, we can also build our custom test cases, and we can run how my test cases is working, right? Guys, here I have written some more test cases for you, just for demo purpose, right? But we just test two, because it's the same as it is, we can test ourself us, right? So I hope guys today you learn good things, how can we configure Selenium services in our Docker environment, and how can we test our Magento full page of Magento function test framework, and how can we test, how can we test our test cases, right? Okay, using Selenium libraries. So now, so guys, please, if you like this video, if you know, if you get good knowledge about from this video, please subscribe my channel and share with your friends and colleges, so